Hello everyone, my name is Alejandro Ruiz and I welcome you to the first ever episode of the Wow Contact channel, named after the famous Wow signal and the best movie of all time, according to me, of course, Contact. This channel is dedicated exclusively to talking about the possibility of extraterrestrial civilizations and how scientists are trying to detect them using a variety of methods and techniques. But why start a new channel when there are already so many great channels out there? And indeed, there is a ton of good content that discusses space and alien life, but very few focus only on the scientific search for extraterrestrial civilizations. That's where this channel comes in. Here, we will talk about the main concept of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, and the latest research papers and initiatives in this field. Ever since I can remember, I've been fascinated by the possibility of alien civilizations. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, watching Hollywood movies such as E.T., Extraterrestrial, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Star Wars, and TV shows such as The X-Files, Star Trek, and many others, I was convinced that at any moment spaceships would show up in our skies, welcoming humankind into some sort of interplanetary society and revealing to us all the secrets of the universe, and in addition, saving us from our own self destructive path. I was never really afraid of aliens being mean or wanting to conquer us or listing us as a special dish on their menus. To be honest, I was more afraid of clowns and monsters that were able to hijack our dreams and kill us while we were asleep. But regarding aliens, I was always very optimistic about that first encounter. So, as you can see, I'm a total nerd. This nerdiness made me go through a doctorate in telecommunications engineering and a Master of Science in astrophysics. After formally studying technology and astronomy, many of the notions and ideas I had when I was a kid have changed a lot. But the sense of wonder and awe when looking up to the stars is still with me, and the hope of finding intelligent extraterrestrial life within my lifetime remains alive. This channel is an excuse for me to share that hope and bring scientific discussions to many people who, like me, dream of encountering extraterrestrial civilizations and that are keen to find out what is going on in this growing scientific field.
This is just an excuse.
Many of the topics we will cover are also explored in my book, Story of More Than 5,000 Worlds, which dives into the exciting field of exoplanets and the possibility of life in the universe. If you want to go deeper, I encourage you to check it out. I will leave the link in the description. With that short introduction, let's get started. The question of are we alone in the universe is not a new one. Humans have wondered if other planets are inhabited since the dawn of our civilization. Are there any other Earths out there? With cities, societies, alien children going to school, alien adults going to work? But here's the surprising thing: the existence of planets orbiting other stars or exoplanets, as they are now known, wasn't really a settled matter until 1992, when a planet orbiting a pulsar was found. A pulsar is a type of neutron star, which is a collapsed core of a massive star. But it wasn't until 1995 when a planet orbiting a sun like star was detected, and this literally opened the gates for the detection of planets. The planet 51 Pegasi b was discovered using the radial velocity method, detecting the subtle wobble of the host star caused by the planet's gravity. A few years later, another exoplanet detection technique, the transit method, became a game changer. By watching the light of a star dim slightly as a planet passes in front of it, astronomers could detect thousands of new worlds. In fact, the transit method is the most successful detection technique, and it accounts for up to 74% of the totality of all planets found so far. Suddenly, thinking about other Earths wasn't that crazy after all, and the nascent field of astrobiology started to flourish. Astrobiology is used to describe the study of potential life in other worlds. Officially, the astrobiology term was coined in the then Soviet Union in 1953. I did find some references that go back to 1935 though. The field of astrobiology gained significant momentum in the late 90s with the creation of NASA Astrobiology Institute. in 1998, mostly motivated by the renewed public interest in space exploration and the discovery of exoplanets. Astrobiology is one of the most interdisciplinary fields in science. Research in this area usually involves the collaboration between geologists, earth science experts, biologists, chemists, physicists, astronomers, of course, and even philosophers. All these disciplines are necessary to study the different conditions on a planet for life to appear and evolve. The objective of the majority of the research in this area is not really trying to find intelligent life. Most research in this area is aimed at detecting what it is known as biosignatures, or the byproducts of biological activities. This is done in two main ways. First, in situ exploration, done on the surface of another planet or world, like it is the case with the many rovers we have sent in the past and are currently on Mars, and other future missions to distant icy moons such as Europa and Enceladus. And second, by atmospheric characterizations. By observing at the atmospheres of other planets, researchers look for gases like oxygen, methane, or ozone, which may indicate the presence of a biosphere. Atmospheric characterization is mainly achieved using a technique known as transit spectroscopy, which consists of the analysis of the light from a star that passes through a planet's atmosphere during a transit or eclipse. The light is sent to an instrument called spectrograph, which uses prisms to divide the light into its different components. We observe this phenomenon when sunlight is refracted by water droplets in the sky, producing the familiar and beautiful rainbow. Unfortunately, biosignatures are extremely ambiguous. Why? Well, a consensus among scientists is that life is considered to be chemical, which means that living organisms transform the material that surrounds them to support themselves and prolong their existence. But processes that don't involve living organisms at all, known as abiotic processes, also produce similar chemical signatures that could be confused with biosignatures. For instance, the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere is primarily attributed to life. Without biological processes, geological activity on the planet would cause oxygen to disappear rapidly. The initial source of oxygen on Earth is believed to have originated from a process by which water molecules are split into other chemical species by absorbing ultraviolet light from the sun. Experts agree that the current levels of oxygen in the atmosphere can only be maintained by photosynthetic activity by the vegetation on Earth. Therefore, oxygen can be produced by both non related to life and related to life processes, which can lead to false positives when searching for signs of life. A recent controversy of this ambiguity is the infamous discovery of phosphine in the atmosphere of Venus. Phosphine on Earth can be produced by both non related to life or related to life processes. Certain bacteria can produce phosphine during their metabolic process in oxygen poor environments, but volcanic activity can also produce phosphine. In 2021, a group of researchers published an article in which they claimed to have detected phosphine in the clouds of Venus. This is an extraordinary claim. Carl Sagan once said that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. A second group of researchers published another article disputing the findings of the first paper. By performing a reanalysis of the data, the authors concluded that the first group's methodology gave them a false positive. This controversy still continues. A final point about the ambiguity of biosignatures. As I was recording this video, September 11, 2025, NASA announced that this guy, well, not really this guy, but the real rover that is currently on Mars, collected rock samples that seem to contain a strong biosignature, indicating the possibility of ancient Martian microbial life. Scientists are cautious, though, and have indicated the importance of bringing these samples to Earth so they can be analyzed further. Something that, unfortunately, due to the current budget cuts at NASA, doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. So, yep, biosignatures are pretty ambiguous. But do you know what wouldn't be ambiguous at all? Imagine scientists detecting a radio transmission from an exoplanet repeating the prime numbers, or a transmission repeating the digits of the pi number. That wouldn't be ambiguous and would indicate without any doubts the existence of an extraterrestrial civilization. Imagine as well astronomers being able to detect on another planet's atmosphere the presence of industrial pollutants such as the known gases chlorofluorocarbons or hydrofluorocarbons, gases that, as far as we know, are only the product of technology. An artificial electronic signal or industrial pollutants belong to a category of biosignatures known as technosignatures. The term technosignatures, which refers to the evidence of some technology that modifies its environment in ways that are detectable, was introduced by the SETI superstar Dr. Jill Tarter in her scientific paper titled The Evolution of Life in the Universe, Are We Alone?, published in 2005. Dr. Tartar is an incredible woman that has dedicated her life to the search for intelligent aliens and to fight against those that consider such an endeavor meaningless. Dr. Jill Tartar is such a badass and inspiration that Carl Sagan based Ailey Arroway, the main character on his Contact novel, on her life and career.
Dr. Arroway.
Contact, the movie based on the novel, or as I said in the intro, the best movie ever, was released in 1997 and portrays the life of a SETI scientist who finds evidence of extraterrestrial life. Multiple technosignatures have been proposed. They range from those that are potentially intentionally generated or those that are a subproduct of a civilization's activities. We will explore many of those ideas, which include mega structures around a civilization home star or their solar system, alien probes, as well as potential evidence of their transportation systems, such as the detection of the use of a warp drive. If, like me, you are fascinated by these topics and want to explore them from a scientific point of view, this channel is for you. I invite you to subscribe to the WOW Contact and like this video so you don't miss future episodes. And let me know in the comments what kind of technosignature would you like us to cover next. Bye for now, and remember,
The truth is out there.